Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I'm speaking with Sasha Anne. She has just released a stellar new track called Catch Me I'm Falling, and I'm super excited to talk to her all about it. Sasha, I want to thank you so much for coming on today. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. What's new in the life?
Well, besides for living in LA, I'm just so happy to be here. It's a dream to live here.
Is LA a new thing?
I moved here at the end of February, and
Oh, it's a very new
it was
thing.
going to be the beginning of March, but I did have a small cameo in a comedy series that will be out very, very, very soon, probably in like the next
Congrats.
2 weeks. So it was like just came out of the blue. My producer was like, "Do you want to do this?" I'm like, "Yes." So I guess I moved sooner than I was going to, which is amazing, and just everything kind of fell into place.
Nice. Did you know anyone before moving here? Or was it just a
Oh yeah,
sudden?
totally.
Okay,
My
cool,
friend
cool,
lives
cool.
here. My
All right,
producer is here. I
sweet.
always go back and forth, and it's hard. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just move here.
I mean, it makes things a lot easier. But you're
Just to
here and
learn
you're in
my
the center.
career.
You're in the center of it all. You're making it happen.
Yeah.
And you have this new song out, and it's called "Catch Me I'm Falling," and I can't wait to hear all about it. Obviously, there are a ton of versions that are about to come out, but I want to hear about the original here. I want to know what the song means to you and what's the message behind it all.
So Catch Me Out Falling is not I'm not the original singer. It was a remake from the hit 80s song Catch Me Out Falling by Jade Starling.
Okay.
And I had the opportunity to re-record it. It was a professional relationship between my producer and Jade Starling, like they knew each other, and I had the opportunity to re-record it in the studio with her. And
That's cool.
it was I just like I can't believe it happened. It's just like
Sure.
I'm just very thankful that I got to re-record this, and it's doing pretty amazing. Like it's already over 200,000 Spotify streams and
Yeah,
over 1 million impressions in stores, which is crazy.
that's
And it's making
wild.
it to the Billboard Music Video
Mhm.
Awards. It's insane. I just can't wrap my head around it.
I mean, you're
But
doing things. You're making it happen, and you're not just a one note artist. You're acting. You're in LA. You're right in the heart of it, and things are coming together.
I
Um,
mean, yes, it's my talent, but also I have to give some credit to my producer because she saw my talent and she helped me make this happen.
totally, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing that people don't understand is that you can be as talented as possible, but if you
Yes,
don't
but it's all
install the
about
team behind
connections.
you, connections. But yeah, having a team that believes in
Yeah.
you and has your best interests there.
Yeah. So she definitely had my best interest. She saw my talent and she believes in
Totally.
me. Yeah.
Very cool. So there's a ton of remixes that are about to come out here, like 10 to be exact. I'd love for you to sort of not necessarily go down the line of who's who, but how did it all come together? I mean, it seems like a daunting task to get 10
Yeah.
people to get this going.
So, beginning of February, my mom was on the phone with the record label and she said that we wanted to release the original as is with the music video together.
Okay.
And he said that he doesn't know what's going to happen. He can't predict anything, but from past experiences, he said that remixes always do best. I don't know why. I really don't know, like behind the scenes, how it happens, but apparently it does best. So he
Got it.
said that um, he, or I don't know if it's him, like the main guy, but
Sure.
the remixer, I guess, will make 10 remixes and just put them out there with the original, which I wanted, but at first it wasn't with the original. It was just
Yeah.
like 10 remixes, which I was very confused about at first. And I think, let me see, I think the one that did the best so far, which keeps on going up, is I think it's either Crown Block,
Okay.
the Crown Block remix, or Stonebridge. the Stonebridge
Got it.
remix.
But
So
no rhyme or reason, it's just happening.
I think, I don't know, I guess people just like that one the best.
Sure.
They all have different sounds to it, and which
Right.
is really cool. And I kind of always wanted to DJ, so I kind of wanted to like make sounds like that. It's really cool. Each one is different. But when I saw it was released in Apple Music and everything else, I was like, where's the original? Like, that doesn't have like so and so remix.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, we didn't put that one out. I'm like, why? That's the one I recorded.
Right.
And he said, oh, if you want it, we could put it out. I'm like, yes, please. So it's out too. It's with all the remixes. And the music video is also on my YouTube channel, as well as the remix music video. And that is doing amazing. They're all doing great. And I'm really happy that they're all out. But I didn't have quite a say in it. It was just about what would do best. That's
Makes
always
sense.
the case.
Well, I mean, I've had the conversation before about remixes, and my always sincere recommendation is to check out the original so that when you do listen to the remix, you can actually tell what was remixed. You know what I mean? And it's not just some random song that is, I'm sure is great for clubs and is great for dancing,
totally.
but like nothing hits like the original. And I say that across all music.
For
So,
live performances, I will definitely
totally.
use the original so I don't sound like a robot.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Which is kind of cool, I have to say, from a
It is
production
cool, yeah.
standpoint. But we want to hear the real Sasha, obviously.
Yes.
So obviously, you know, you've got so much on your plate right now, it seems like, and I wasn't aware that this was a non-original song, and I want to keep the focus on it, but I also want to look towards the future a little bit. Do you have any plans for originals or anything along those lines that you can say?
Yes, I do. So at first I did, I was like, I want to release my originals too with this song. And my manager and my producer, they were like, let's take it one at a time. Let's see what happens with this one. Let's make it a big deal. Like, let's get your name out there that you're a singer first. And then let's see how people react and see if they want your originals. I'm like, I think my originals are pretty good. I think people will want them. They're like, let's just take it at a time. I'm like, fine.
I know.
So I sent, I was impulsive, and I sent my original songs, like all the demos, to my manager and my producer. Both of them were like, we love these songs. They're amazing. Some of them are great. I'm like, some, not all. And they're like, let's take it. It's always like, let's take it a step at a time. So I guess my originals will be coming out as soon as I can get them out. First, I'm focusing on my first live performance for Catch Me I'm Falling.
Nice.
And I'm getting like the auditions ready for the dancers, and it's going to be a process, but I'm really excited. So we're going to focus on that, see how that does, and then hopefully soon after that I could release my originals, which I love. It's definitely me.
Sure.
Definitely me. It's very, I guess, 2000s vibes, like 2000s pop rock kind of thing, like Miley Cyrus's old songs, like from 2007, like that kind of vibe, like Hannah Montana, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I love. So
Yes.
that's you're making music for my audience.
Yeah.
Would you say that it's somewhat similar to this song? Obviously, they're gonna have their.
So this song, when I was working with the original singer Jade, she has her own meaning to it, and then she was like, you are going to be doing a remix, so you have to put your heart into it. You have to make it your own. Think of just like what comes to your mind and just have your thoughts. So Catch Me I'm Falling is definitely about like you're in love with someone, and it's very personal, and I think that my original songs are personal as well. So it's like some of my songs are very fun and like good for clubs, but then a lot of them are slow, personal, and just from my heart. So in that way it's similar, but with the beats and like everything else, it's different.
I get it. Well, I mean, for someone that's continuing to get their name out there, you
Yeah.
kind of have to cast a wide net. You know what I mean? In the sense of
Yeah.
like, you're gonna get the people that like pops, and then you got the people like the slow ballads and the more meaningful, like emotional music. You see what people like, and you get the feedback, and then you go off of that. But at this, like, I love this song. Don't get me wrong, and I know the remixes are great, but like, I want to hear more of your original music. So if that's any push to get
Yes.
them out there, we'll get it going.
Definitely in the near future,
Yeah,
hopefully in the
right.
future.
In the
But
future.
the line that definitely sticks out to me from Catch Me I'm Falling is the very first, because it's like it literally lets you know what the song is about. Like, you came into my life, look in your eyes, took me by surprise. It's you and nobody else. Your love has made me so blind I can't see. So it's like you're putting your everything into that person, and it's like you can't see anyone else. So it's a very personal song, and I feel like anyone who listens to it can make it their own, depending on who they're in love with or who they have feelings for. And
Yeah.
those personal thoughts are definitely similar in my music, in my own music.
But how long have you been making music for?
So I've been writing songs since I was very young, and I just think it's amazing how people could connect to it.
Sure.
And it's like lyrics are sometimes even better than talking.
Well, it's a lot easier.
It's a
It's like
lot easier to
someone
express
reading your
yourself.
diary almost.
Yeah. And it's scary, but it's
Yeah.
just everything is true in it. And I like that people could put their own thoughts to each person's music. But yes, I was writing songs since I was young, and when I was very young, I was definitely hard on myself when I was writing lyrics. I didn't release it. I just kept it personal. But in middle school, I showed them to my teachers, and they're like, "This is amazing. What are you gonna do with it?" I'm like, "I don't know." Just keep it to myself, I guess. But I was always in the school play singing, and I just continued to write music in high school. And I was actually co-writing with some songwriters who worked with Katy Perry, Selena Gomez, etc.
Oh,
And I got those lyrics protected, but never released. I don't know. I guess it just never happened, but I definitely want to release them.
you should. I mean, songwriting is one of the most vulnerable things that you can do
It's
because
literally
not
my
only
therapy.
right, because not only are people that know you like hearing them and dissecting every word, but then you potentially have a massive audience that is getting into your business who has no idea who you are as a person.
Yeah.
And they're just like, well, like my music, but you don't know me. And this could have been from 10 years ago for whatever reason. So
It's like when people want to
complicated.
know more about me, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, let's maybe not get on a call. I'll send you my lyrics.
Yeah, there you go. It's the best way.
Yes.
Do you have a specific process? Like, do you write from personal experience, or is it just like, I came up with a good rhyme and it sounded good?
So whatever I tell my therapist, I write down as well. Not literally every single detail, because that
Of
is
course.
way too personal, but I write down as much as I can what I feel like people could relate to,
Sure.
and what I feel like my friends deal with. Because I feel like when I talk to my friends, they're like, "Oh, that's so relatable." I'm like, "Good to know. I'll write that down."
Yep.
So I just write everything down from my heart, from personal experiences, or um, I think it's easier to write from my heart and personal experiences more than um, just like a fun song. Much easier. And I have so many personal songs because I've gone through
Right.
a lot personally. So it's just much easier.
Well, throughout the
But like the
entire
process,
process, like
it's like
throughout that though, is there something that you look forward to the most?
probably being in the studio recording it and listening to how everything turned out after, like putting the beat together. And it just, I think that's my favorite part. Like after I'm looking at my lyrics, I'm like, okay, is this good? It's like that's the most stressful part. Cause I'm like, are people going to like this? And then when I in
Yeah.
the studio, and then the guys like remixing it and just like putting everything together. He's like, this is so cool. I'm like, oh, good, okay.
Because I have no idea
Yeah,
what's going on.
exactly.
Yeah,
Because I'm my worst critic, so I had to hear what other people think.
right. Well, I think in that case, it's a lot better to be less confident than just like, this is great, I'm the best,
Oh
because
yeah,
then you're not going to be
totally.
hard on yourself.
I know.
People can kind of tell.
Yeah.
Is there something that you think that your music says about you as a person?
I think my music says that I'm a very deep person, and there's a lot of metaphors in some songs. I don't know if when I sent it to a family friend, she says, "Oh, I totally understand this. Like I get everything, but that's just because I know you and you're a deep person. I don't know how other people think about it." I'm like, "Oh, great. Thank you."
Yeah.
So that's like the hard part because my brain is like it's very I feel like my brain is kind of like Billie Eilish sometimes because she has
Sure.
like very deep songs. It's not that dark,
Yeah, of course.
but I'm a very deep person and emotional, and I've gone through a lot emotionally, and so I feel like a lot of people can relate to it, but I have to be mindful that not a lot of people could like read into my brain so deep. So I have to be careful with those metaphors.
I understand. I totally understand. You also mentioned that you're starting to get shows in the works. Could
Yes.
we potentially see any original songs played there in terms of
Oh, I
like,
hope
you know,
so.
set lists instead of just the one? Are we going to hear 10 remixes back to back to back?
Oh my gosh, no.
Okay, good.
So I hope not. I
Happy to
think
hear
that
that.
would be a little frustrating for
Sweet.
me, and I don't think anyone else would want that.
I guess time will tell then.
Yeah,
Um,
but I would definitely start off the live performance with the Catch Me I'm Falling, and
sure.
then I would probably go into two of my originals. It is half my choice, but also it's the label's choice, and because I don't know like the analytics, and I just like don't know what people would want. So I have to
Right.
see how this does, and then I will see what else happens.
Yeah, it's all
A lot of
based
it is
on
my
data.
call. Like I could like right away say, no, I'm not doing this. I want to
Yeah,
do this, but also like what's best for me.
right. Totally understand.
Yeah.
So obviously, I mean, it sounds like a lot isn't up to you, which it makes sense.
That's
Like,
the
you know,
industry.
but hypothetically speaking, in a perfect world, what would the next year of your life look like if it was up to you? I mean, I know that you have a lot going on besides music. So, like, what are some lofty goals that you'd like to hit?
So I definitely want to make the right decisions, and I am
Sure.
so glad I have people around me to help me. Like my brother is also in the industry. He's a director, producer, so he helps me out. He knows nothing about music, but
Sure.
he knows a lot about film, so he helps me out with that. And I definitely want to make decisions on my own because I want to be happy with my life.
Yeah.
But I also want to hear what other people think who've been in the industry longer than me, and I want to get their opinion on what's best for me. So we'll see what happens. I definitely want to be in some films, some more films, continue making music, and yeah.
It's just shoot for the stars, I suppose.
Yeah.
I love that. I got a couple more questions for you at this point. I want to know, what have you been listening to? What have you been enjoying? Anything on your playlist that stands out that you can recommend?
So I've been listening to this song on repeat by Pia Mia called Princess. It's like it's
Okay.
just so catchy. It literally the lyrics I feel like repeat themselves, but just like it's just so catchy. You
I
can't
mean,
listen to it.
what was her name?
Pia Mia.
PME. I don't think I've heard of her. I'll have
She
to check it
was
out.
she's friends with like Bella Thorne, I think, and
Okay.
those types of people. But it's an old song, but I listen to it on repeat. It's just so good. Such a vibe.
Sweet. Well, thank you for the recommendation. I'll definitely give it a spin.
And Hannah
Um,
Montana, of
yeah,
course.
obviously, that's the number two.
Yeah.
Sasha, this has been a fantastic conversation, and I have one more question to wrap this up. Basically, the question is for the person that is going to discover you from this, And for the person that's going to listen to your music for the first time, what is an opening message that you'd like to say to them?
That I hope that they could relate to my music. And I definitely listen to a lot of Olivia Rodrigo, and her music inspires me a lot. So I hope that when when I listen to her music, I get like just this happy feeling and this feeling like, oh my God, this is so relatable and she gets me. I want people to think that way about my music.
I love that. That's a great closing statement. You got to just keep the goals up there, and I
Yeah.
think people will really get it once they click the play button.
Yes.
Well, I want to thank you so much again for taking the time out of your day to do this. And I'd love to plug your music for you one more time. The song is called Catch Me, I'm Falling. There's so much more on the way. And obviously, we're going to have links so that people can listen and share and follow along and do all that fun stuff. But I'm looking forward to whatever's coming next. And it sounds like there's a lot.
Thank God.
Awesome. Well, Sasha, thank you so much again for your time. And I look forward to speaking again soon.
Thank you. You too.
You're very welcome. Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.